Bulletproof Monday. It's Susan Sly, and I want to ask you a question. You know, most jobs, most businesses, any career, there's an aspect of sales. And I don't care if you are an accountant who has to bring in new clients in order to make partner, or you're a pastor who has to be able to stand in a pulpit and ask people to donate money for your cause so you can get a new roof on your church or fund a trip to Africa, whatever it is. We are all doing some form of sales. And the truth is that, with economic highs and lows and with stock markets going up, stock markets going down, when you have solid sales skills, you will always have a roof over your head. That's what my father told me anyway. And it's interesting to me because so often people think sales is a dirty word. They're like, oh, I don't want to sell anything. Well, guess what? If you've ever asked someone out on a date and they said yes, you sold yourself, right? You sold something. If you've ever had your kids not want to eat something and you got them to eat broccoli, you sold something. And in fact, we are all in some form of sales. So why not embrace it? Because the truth is that for me in my career, sales has been what has paid the bills, what has sent my kids to school, what has allowed me to donate to charities and do all the things I've done. So it isn't a dirty word. It's awesome. It only feels bad to you if what you're selling is not in alignment with who you are, or if what you're selling is, something that you don't feel comfortable with. So, and those two are similar but different. Let me give you an example. So I was at an event, and this gal came up to me and she's like, Susan, listen, I'm growing my network marketing business. And I said, well, how's it been for you? And she's like, I'm stuck. I can't get anyone to sign up with me. And so I did some muscle testing on her. And I was trained in muscle testing by Dr. David Hawkins himself before he died. He wrote Power versus Force. And when we did network marketing, it actually went weak for her. But when we did Empower Women, I had her put her arm out and I pressed down and it would not move. And I said, sweetheart, if you change your languaging and people are like, what are you doing? Listen, I'm empowering women to get healthy. I'm empowering women to take control of their finances. You're going to be fine all day long. But in that moment, the concept of network marketing wasn't working for her. And yes, she could read books and she could attend events and spend a lot of time really getting right with network marketing. But the reality is that's going to take time. And if she wants to generate results faster, she's going to have to work where she's comfortable. Does this make sense? If it does, say yes. So when we're in sales, there are three key aspects, and I call these the three ologies, and I'm going to get into those in a minute. Just a couple of quick announcements. The first one, I am doing an event in Las Vegas, Nevada on Friday, December 7th. It is an NLP event, neuro-linguistic programming. This is the stuff that Tony Robbins is trained in. If you've ever seen Tony live coach someone in an audience or ever seen him sell from stage, he's using NLP techniques. I am a certified NLP coach and therapist, and I'm going to be sharing with you the secrets of how the top presenters use NLP to sell events, to sell big ticket items, to be able to sell courses, to sell products, and it's going to be awesome. So you can get tickets at salesnirvana.com. The event is almost sold out. I would encourage you to register. Tickets are only $97, but if you use the code VEGAS, VEGAS, all caps, you can get the tickets for $47. So check it out, salesnirvana.com. My class, Organize Your Life for Entrepreneurs, where I teach entrepreneurs, business owners, how to get organized in a different way, because I also use my NLP training. So there's a lot of mindset around organization. Just like procrastination is a mindset, being organized is a mindset, something I can teach you how to do. And several of my clients have gone on to become millionaires, which is awesome. That class starts January 16th. You can check it out on susansly.com. I would encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have 2 unique content videos that come out every single week. I talk about mindset. I talk about digital marketing, sales, marketing. It's awesome. Okay, let's get into it. So what are the 3 ologies when it comes to sales? And on Mondays, I take notes. So here we go. The first ology is the psychology of selling. And that goes back to that story of that gal I was live coaching. So the psychology of selling is really how you feel about what it is you are selling. Okay. And I don't believe in fake it until you make it. That is so old school. It doesn't work. In this day and age, people sense if you're authentic or not. Would you all agree with that? And so the psychology of selling is figuring out how this product or service that you have can benefit the person you're talking to. So let me give you an exercise to do. The first thing I want you to do is make a list of at least 3 reasons why this service or this product that you have to sell can benefit other people. Ideally, you're going to come up with 10. Maybe it's 3. Either way, make a list. And the reason is you want to be intentional. So if I'm talking to someone and I'm selling them a course, I'm not just like, oh, I'm selling the course and I want to make all this money. I'm talking to them about the benefits. How can this benefit them? And it has to be visceral. I have to feel it. And that's why we're always in the greatest power when we've had a result with something ourselves. So it's very tough to recommend a movie we haven't seen or a book we haven't read. And the same thing is true with anything you're selling. If I'm selling a nutritional product and I haven't had a wow experience on it, I'm not going to have an easy time selling it. It would be like a car salesperson who's trying to sell you a Mercedes, but they drive a Ford Focus instead. You know, what do they really know about it? And it's the same thing for all of us. It's that experience that is so essential in order for us to really believe what it is we're selling. And the psychology of sales, it goes back to this whole point. And when we believe, we become believable. Okay, when we believe, we become believable. Going back to Tony Robbins as an example, so I've done a couple of events where he's been speaking, I've been speaking, I've attended his events. When Tony is talking about Date with Destiny, or he's talking about Unleash the Power Within, he's so convicted because he's experienced people changing right before his eyes. When I'm selling you my event Sales Nirvana, I did the first one in September, and I got messages that changed my marriage. It changed my results. And I'm so convicted. Even with my digital marketing agency, we have helped over 500 entrepreneurs become empowered this year in terms of their business. And I'm so convicted because I'm seeing messages all the time. I won this contest because of what you guys taught me. I've made more money this year. I generated 7,000 leads, you know, all of those things. And I'm so convicted. So when I'm talking to people about what it is I do, that conviction is coming through. Does that make sense? So the first ology is the psychology and getting right. And I promise you, if you're not right with what you're selling, you're probably stuck. The other way you can improve your psychology is to really get clear on how what you have benefits others. So maybe you're new to the game, maybe you're new to marketing, whatever it is you're marketing. Maybe it's a pill, or it's a shake or something, I don't know. And so are there stories of other people getting amazing results? Maybe you can use their stories and borrow the belief from these people in terms of what they're experiencing. And you know, when you think about it, that if you shift the psychology, you often shift the results really, really quickly. Does that make sense? And so I want to step out of, you know, what I plan to talk about today just for a moment. And I want you to think about even your relationships. Okay, when you are in a relationship with someone for a long, long period of time, the things that initially you found really attractive after years can drive you crazy. And if you shift your psychology back to why you fell in love with that person, immediately it's as though that person morphs before your eyes. They haven't changed. They're still looking the same. It's just that you're seeing them differently. And I posted today on Instagram a quote card, and you know, it really comes down to how we see our world is the world we live in. So it's the same thing that's true with the psychology. If you look at a person or an opportunity with optimism, with hope, with clarity, with focus, with that desire to serve, that's what you're going to see. And you're going to become, again, so much more believable. Hopefully that makes sense. The next ology is our physiology. Amy Cuddy, you know, she did an amazing TED Talk. She has her PhD, and she focuses really on body language, and she's very famous for that Wonder Woman pose, you know, that building confidence. And she found that when students held the Wonder Woman for a minute before writing a test, they actually scored better on the test than those who didn't hold that pose. And our physiology, our posture when it comes to selling is so important. And so there are different, when I'm teaching the psychology of doing a presentation, one of the things I teach is the meaning of colors and clothes and things like that. So if you look at myself, or Tony as an example, we wear a lot of black. Now, black is it's a color that type A people wear. It's also a confidence building color. A lot of people, when they are, wanting to feel confident, especially for us as women, will wear, that little black dress. We all have that one. We love maybe more than one. It's the same thing. So wearing, clothing that you feel good in is really essential for selling. And I had a business, a long time ago in 2001, and I was literally operating out of a closet in an apartment in Toronto. And I was making sales calls, and I was calling a lead list. I was running ads in, I think it was the National Post. Anyway, so I'm doing the calls, and I'd be in my pajamas and I didn't feel as confident. So what I decided to do was actually dress up. Put my kids to bed, and I dress up in work clothes, and I'd make my calls that way. And I started standing up, making my calls, and changing the physiology began to change my results. So I went from actually having no customers to being able to double recruit customers in that network marketing business at the same time, because that's where my posture was. And so when we begin to change our physiology, we change our life. And so if you're a person who hasn't had a lot of confidence, what I suggest you do is begin to put your shoulders back, take the deep breath, stand up tall, wear clothes that make you feel confident. Don't let what anyone else wears influence what you want to wear unless you're in fashion. If you have an outfit that makes you feel like confident and awesome, then wear that outfit. Just do what you need to do to get in that space. One of my mentors, she used to listen to a 10-minute audio, and then she'd make a bunch of sales calls, 10-minute audio sales calls. And so whatever it is for you that is going to put you in that place where your physiology is confident. For some people, it's music. For some people, it's reading something. But your physiology, add that to your psychology, and you're almost there. The third ology of selling is sociology. So we always want to be selling to our ideal client or customer. And our ideal client or customer is someone who has the resources to buy what we have. They're going to find value in what we have to offer. And it's a socioeconomic demographic that we can understand. And so knowing the sociology of our ideal client and customer is going to allow you to do some targeting in terms of Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn, whatever it is, on your different social media platforms, even YouTube. It's going to allow you also, if you're target marketing appropriately, knowing your avatar, knowing the demographics, knowing that person's education background, household situation, all of it, it's going to allow you to save a lot of money when it comes to advertising, because the reality is what amateurs do is they'll just throw an advertising budget out there and they don't even know if it's being effective. If you look at a company like GoDaddy, when GoDaddy first started, they were running ads in the middle of the night. They were kind of evocative ads. And the reason they did that is because their ideal customer was young men at the time who were buying up domains. They were up really late. They bought that advertising space fairly inexpensively. It wasn't like advertising for the Super Bowl. And that's how they began to grow that company, because they knew very clearly the sociology of their ideal customer. They knew the habits, they knew the likes, the pain points, all of it. And I would say the same thing to you. Who is your ideal customer? Where do they hang out? How can you get in front of them? How can you have a message that is going to attract that person? These trainings that I do, if you're watching live, I do them for business people. So I do them during the day, because that's when business people are, in business. It's coming toward the end of the day, and they're kind of like, I just need to be distracted for a little bit. I'm going to tune in on Monday. I'm going to watch Susan. But then this training goes over to my YouTube channel, and that can just be watched on demand, or if someone hits up the Facebook page, they can watch it too, because I know that my ideal customer is looking for some quick tips. They want to learn how to sell more. They want to learn how to become more effective. They want to, make more money, become more productive. And I know. So that's how I create these topics for that ideal customer, you. Right? If you're still watching the video at this point. And it's the same thing that's true for you. If you know your ideal customer, no matter what you're putting out in videos and posts and all of your social media, everything, it's going to be a lot more effective. So the thing I want to finish with is this. Remember I said at the beginning that if you, have sales skills, you're never going to go hungry. Well, during the last recession, who do you think the last people to be laid off were at any company? The commission salespeople is the right answer, because if you're a company owner during a recession or any kind of time that you're operating, you're relying on new clients and customers to come into your organization. And so I promise you that the last recession isn't the last recession. And the reality is, the market is potentially up today when you're watching it. If you're watching this live, the market's up today, but the market's been down. The real estate confidence index is down. People are saying economic softening, whatever. Employers are going to look at who are we going to keep? Who are we going to let go as they want to improve their cash flow? If you are excellent at sales, you can be just fine, because you're going to prove your worth. You're going to generate revenue. And even if you're on salary and commission, if there is a big economic downturn, you can say to your boss, listen, I can sell, just put me on commission. Sales, again, it's not a dirty word, my friends. It is essential. It is the lifeblood of any business. And I would suggest that you up your sales skills. Tune in here every Monday, because that's what I focus on. I would love to see you in Las Vegas, because that's where I'm going to be teaching you neuro-linguistic programming sales skills. That's a whole next level. I did actually break a company's website using it. And I'll finish up with this story. We were at a conference, and they had asked me to sell an event. And I said to them, do you really want me to sell the event? And they're like, oh yes, Susan, we really want you to sell the event. I said, are you sure you really, really want me to sell the event? They were like, yes, we really, really, really want you to sell the event. I said, fabulous, I will sell the event. And I used NLP. I had people pulling out their phone, and it was so effective. It broke the whole company website. It was $1 billion company. So here's the thing, guys. These are skills that I can teach you. I would love to teach you. And if you're serious about recession proofing your life, obviously saving money, spending less, doing all those things, but up your sales skills, because again, no matter what happens that, in the economy, as long as you can sell, there's always network marketing, there's always real estate, there's always insurance, there's always mortgage, there's always all sorts of things you can sell, and you will be just fine. So with that, God bless. Have an amazing day. If you have a topic for Bulletproof Monday, come over to susansly.com. We have a chat bot over there. Let me know. I take all of my notes. I send them out to my subscribers. My subscribers also get awesome deals on everything that I put out. They get ridiculous deals. It's quite incredible what they get. So go to susansly.com. Make sure you're subscribed. And with that, go rock your day, and I will see you next time.